So, it's been over a year since I've read the manga Vagabond, and I'm not really sure why I stopped because I do remember liking it a lot. Maybe I got sidetracked by Rurouni Kenshin, but now that the weather is getting warmer and I could sit outside without freezing, I think I'm gonna start reading this again, and I'm gonna read it outside because I feel like this is how this story should be experienced. So, I thought I would do another video capturing my first impressions of each volume of Vagabond. Whether or not these videos get views or not, I think I'm still just gonna end up doing them anyway, just sort of as a way of reflecting on each volume and just going back to see how I thought about it when I first read it. And I'm gonna do that with this because I feel like this manga is something special, and it's sort of a story that you kind of have to read and then meditate on. So, getting right into it, Volume 2 shows more of a human side to the main character Shinmin Takezo, later to be known as Miyamoto Musashi. This volume leads off from the first one where Takezo is a wanted fugitive and he tries returning to his home village only to be attacked and challenged by men who want to kill him. Takezo manages to kill everyone that tries pursuing him, and he eventually runs into the character Tsukikaze Kohei. Kohei is a skilled swordsman that wants revenge on Takezo for killing his brother. Apparently he's mad that Takezo got to kill him instead of himself. Obviously he has a real nihilistic look on life, but Takezo fights him anyway, and he gets the upper hand before being interrupted by the mob trying to kill him. In this volume, we also learn a little bit more about Otsu and her relationship with Madahachi and Takezo. They were all childhood friends, and we learned that growing up, everyone was always afraid and would always avoid Takezo. Everyone except for Madahachi, who became best friends with him regardless. Otsu apparently fell in love with Madahachi just because he hung out with Takezo, and maybe that implies that Otsu is really in love with Takezo. It's only when Otsu confronts Takezo that he's able to calm down and eventually get captured. It's here where we see just how damaged of a person that Takezo really is, and maybe he really is in love with Otsu. We learn that his own mother abandoned him at a young age, and his father never really wanted anything to do with him. Takezo hates his life and he wants to die, but the monk, Taqwan, doesn't let him. Instead, he lets him think about the people that he killed in order to survive, and eventually gives him a reason to live, and he spares his life. Taqwan is definitely the highlight of this volume. I always enjoy those wise monk characters in stories, whether that's someone like Master Roshi from Dragon Ball, or even the monk from the film Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring. There are always these characters that have this mystique about them, and usually they'll have like simple phrases, but they end up having really deep meanings. I always love that. In Vagabond, the monk character we get is a bit eccentric, and his full name is Soho Taqwan. We end up learning that he has a high level of skill in sword fighting and martial arts. He currently serves at the Shippoji Buddhist temple in Miyamoto Village. What's nice about his character is that he's very straightforward. He's not a phony. And he's straightforward to the point where it's kind of rude, and he really doesn't care about having nice manners. He simply does not give a crap. In this one great scene, he tells off this nobleman for being a coward. He's the definition of a tough love teacher. In this one scene, he lets Takezo hang on a rope for days just to have him learn something. He's very wise and he's insightful, and you could just tell that he's able to read people, and he could tell everyone's weaknesses. Despite all this though, he's still real playful and he has a very humorous side. So I felt like this volume was even better than the first one. And a reason for that is because we're seeing more of a character study with deeper meanings on life rather than just violence. And having seen a lot of films, I can say that the narration in this is actually a lot better paced than most films. And there was never a dull moment in this entire volume. And yes, I'm definitely excited to read more. So what are your thoughts on Vagabond? Have you read it? Do you like it? Please let me know in the comments. Please let me know if you want me to continue talking about each volume as I go along for the first time. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.